Please subscribe.
When the 2019 X5 was reported, the 2018 X5 felt antiquated, notwithstanding more up-to-date, prettier, more tech-forward challenge. Plainly, BMW's specialists were focusing this entire time, in light of the fact that the most recent age of BMW's OG SUV compensates for all of that, subsequent in a bundle that is aggressive, yet in addition effectively fit for gunning for the highest point of the pops again. Another hairdo, yet the roots are appearing. I need to call the 2019 X5 styling subordinate, yet the main plan it's acquiring is its own. The front end may have somewhat more slender lights and a more dug-in look than previously, yet it looks to a great extent equivalent to the X5 it replaces. Put something aside for the grille, which has kept on smelling like a withering star. Things are somewhat unique at the back, where BMW's new corporate taillights give the X5 more measurement. I imply that actually, the taillights have some extremely decent 3D attributes that assistance to separate what might some way or another be dullness round back. My analyzer's 20-inch wheels add to the SUV's looks, however not without attaching an additional $600 onto the sticker price. The inside is spread out in a clear way. Try not to misunderstand me, there are heaps of catches in here, however they're gathered together reasonably. All the atmosphere controls are by one another, while everything identified with driving is somewhere around the shifter. It doesn't take me long to submit a large portion of these situations to memory, making it simple to change settings on the fly. My real issue here is capacity. Beside the inside armrest cubby, which isn't exceptionally extensive, there aren't numerous spots to pack things, which could be an issue if this is a family-first vehicle. My analyzer's dark-colored calfskin seats are the appropriate measure of agreeable and strong, offering reinforcing that won't leave bigger drivers feeling cramped. I'm content with the perceivability, on account of tall windows and a backside that is fortunately without any sort of expressive decrease. That is the thing that the X6 is for. A marginally longer wheelbase implies back seat space is copious, with enough legroom for tall travelers to sit behind tall drivers. It additionally boosts load limit. However, my most loved piece of the freight zone is the clamshell back end, which looks legitimately cool each time it opens electronically. Tech forward, however not every last bit of it is. The main tech-related bits you'll likely notice in the X5 are its screens. The standard 12.3-inch check show and 12.3-inch infotainment screen are both on top of the world. I am not the greatest enthusiast of the measure bunches map, which extremely possibly works when route bearings are turned on, since the streets aren't marked. Else, I do welcome that all the significant data is shown noticeably on either side, and the hues and design change contingent upon the mode, which is a pleasant touch. Game and comfort modes get red themes, while Eco Pro turns the entire thing blue. The most recent cycle of BMW's iDrive functions admirably, with the home screen that shows a large portion of the significant data as a matter of course. Having the capacity to hop between contacting the screen and utilizing the physical dial beneath is valued. So, there are heaps of menus and alternatives on there, which can be overwhelming at first. Changing certain things, similar to the discretionary head-up presentation splendor, requires plunging through a few menus, which can be terribly diverting. Apple CarPlay is incorporated, yet BMW charges a membership for it, which is moronic. You get the main year free, at any rate. My analyzer likewise packs BMW's discretionary motion control, an element I believe is paltry and really unfavorable from a diversion angle. However, it's a piece of a $2,050 premium package that incorporates things like remote gadget charging, a Wi-Fi hotspot and an Encompass C camera framework, so I think the bundle is justified, despite all the trouble, regardless of whether you not even once endeavor to change the volume by whirling your finger around like Harry Potter's wand. Enthusiasts of link-based charging will be eager to see USB-C ports in the two columns. Standard driver help frameworks proliferate and incorporate program braking, path takeoff cautioning and vulnerable side observing. My analyzer one-ups that with the $1,700 active driving assistant pro update. This brings path keep help and full speed versatile journey control into the overlay. The framework functions admirably on the roadway, keeping the X5 focused in its path with negligible jerkiness. It's a hands-on framework, and there's a shrewd arrangement of lights incorporated into the controlling wheel that streak yellow in the event that it doesn't distinguish hands on the wheel for a specific time frame. I'm commonly a fan, however when I'm not utilizing the full framework, I turn off the path keep help, since I discover it excessively graceless in its remedies amid day-by-day use. The appropriate measure of gain. In case you're after the most flexible ride in the portion, you won't discover it in the X5. BMW has never been bashful about making its vehicles intriguing to drive, and that dependably accompanies exchange-offs. While my analyzer packs a $1,000 air suspension overhaul, the ride ridges on firm even with the suspension in its cushiest mode. It'll douse up the incidental pothole all around okay, yet in the event that the street turns into a washboard, you're going to bob around a reasonable piece. Thicker tire sidewalls may help, yet the 275/45R20 Pirelli Scorpion Zero winter tires on my analyzer are as of now tolerably substantial. The powertrain, then again, is damn close smooth. My analyzer's X-Drive 40i trim methods it conveys BMW's 3.0-liter turbocharged i6 gas motor, useful for 335 pull and 330 pound-feet of torque. It creates a pleasant little snarl when I incline toward the gas, however I value its usable torque band more. The 8-speed program functions admirably related to this motor, rearranging through the apparatuses easily. Tossing it into sport mode hones everything up, except I observe the standard comfort mode to be the best mix of thrifter and movements. The rest of the driving knowledge is similarly very much shot together. The guiding is immediate and responsive, adjusting itself to a portion of the sportier SUVs in the fragment like the Porsche Cayenne. The throttle is anything but difficult to balance, and in my particular case, that made for simple donuts and floats in the snow with the soundness control set to its sportier, let you have a great time setting. The brakes are reliable, albeit jolly downshifts from the transmission beneath 20 miles for each hour make it somewhat hard to grind to a halt easily without fail. On the mileage front, the EPA rates the 2019 X5 X-Drive 40i at 20 miles for every gallon city, 26 miles per gallon expressway and 22 miles per gallon consolidated. The vast majority of my week was spent handling annoyingly extraordinary nasty climate, which left me with figures 3 to 5 miles per gallon lower than the gauge. Nonetheless, with some reasonable streets, I figure the EPA's numbers wouldn't be too difficult to even think about matching. How I'd spec it. My analyzer begins at $60,700, however BMW's expensive choices send the cost through the roof, in the unsettling at $72,530, counting the $995 gold charge. I'll begin with a similar trim, in light of the fact that V8 prepared models don't begin until $75,750, which is over the top. Elevated white is free, and it's an incredible shading, so I'll choose that over my analyzer's $550 mineral white paintwork, which I thought was alpine white in any case. Maintaining a strategic distance from the $600 20-inch wheels manages me more sidewall for a milder ride, in a perfect world. Settling on my analyzer's dark-colored calfskin includes another $1,450, which for reasons unknown was limited down to $0 on its window sticker, yet that is not the situation on BMW's customer site. I like keyless access and 4-zone atmosphere control, so I'll stay with my analyzer's $1,150 convenience package, just as the $2,050 premium package that includes a head-up showcase, remote gadget charging, a hotspot, and in-compass C camera and motion control. I'll skirt my analyzer's $2,050 executive package, since I couldn't care less that much about delicate close entryways, window shades and remote begin. In any case, I'll clutch the $1,700 Driving Assistance Pro bundle for its strong driver's guides. As far as individual choices, I'll plunk down $1,000 for 2 prettier suspension and $250 to warm both the directing haggle front armrests. That abandons me with the marginally progressively tasteful $68,595 sticker price, again including gold.